Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation.
It's time to join the conversation.
All right, welcome to the Hardheaded Podcast. I'm Troy Trussell, your host today.
Hello, Troy.
Trussell Media Podcast Studios.
You started there like a 64 Lincoln Continental. You kind of, welcome to the podcast today. I'm Troy Trussell. Get going. He's like revved up.
Yeah, let's go. I'm here with Mr. Matt Amos.
You need some more cat poop coffee? Wake you up?
And Mr. Chet Sears.
Hello, everyone.
No more cat poop. Thank you very much. Had enough of that last week. All right, today we are going to talk about the 2024 presidential candidates in our top three. I don't even know who's running, so this ought to be interesting. We're going to hear what's on Matt's mind, and I know what's on his mind right now after that comment. And then Chet is going to wrap it up with a good word. But before we get to that, I just want to let everybody know that the Don't Sauce My Meat shirt has been out for like 2 weeks now. You need to go get it.
Don't sauce my meat.
Because nobody likes sauce. Well, some people like sauce on
You
their
want
meat.
to distribute the sauce as you desire. Whoever smoked the meat shouldn't be putting it on there to cover up their dryness.
And not everybody likes sweet sauce, and a lot of people put sweet sauce on their meat. And I don't like sweetened meat. Don't sauce my meat.
Yeah. So go
That's
get your
right.
shirt. Hardheaded Podcast.
Wear it to your local favorite barbecue place.
Hardheadedpodcast.com. Go check it out. Matt, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind this week, boys, is soccer again. I know it's not exciting for you.
It is exciting for me because my son is on a fantastic team. They took first place last night. They played against the first place team. They beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
So they have tied 1-1.
Interesting. Who does your boy play for?
It's in a intermediate league at the YMCA.
Little YMCA soccer.
He's 11 years old, yes.
Perfect. So, on that note, my daughter had played for a team and has recently moved to another team after tryouts this year. And they have not lost a game.
That's not about winning, Matt.
It's 100% about winning.
No, it's not.
That's 100%
At her
what
age,
it's about.
It's about developing skill.
No, it's about winning.
Okay.
So,
I agree with Matt.
Yeah, you know why? Because no Major League Soccer player ever gets drafted if they have a losing record when they were in the rec league at the Y. They have to be undefeated.
they don't have to be undefeated, but it's all about winning.
No, it's not.
So,
Should ask Ted Lasso. He's from Wichita.
I don't even know who Ted Lasso is.
He's a fictional character.
That's why I don't know him. But so anyway, so my daughter moved to this new team, and we've had her in private lessons as well to work on those skills, to develop those skills outside of normal practices and stuff. And we ended up playing a team that didn't give her a spot and slaughtered them.
Yeah.
It was an absolute.
Isn't that just sweet?
Oh, I went out. I told her before the game. I was like,
Motivation.
we're playing this
What's
team
that Cajun
today.
man, Adam Sandler? Motivation.
And so that added a little bit of icing on the cake. But
So, yeah, last night, the game they played, we found out minutes before the game that our neighbors were on the opposing team.
Yeah.
And so that just lit a fire under Noah.
You don't like your neighbors?
No, we love them, but it's like competition.
beat
And they're
you.
always in the backyard playing each other. But this was like an official
This
game.
is when it counts. It counts.
This win counts.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic.
Anyway, so she's been playing in the team that she's with. There's a lot of room for growth within the club, and so she's moving up to guest play in the. So she's in 09. She's guest playing 08 club. So she's playing well enough to move up.
Yeah.
And play with the older kids. So she's starting to do that, and so she's really excited about doing that. But anyway, so in the midst of all of that, we as America have had the greatest of all time soccer player come to the United States to play soccer for MLS. And
Patrick Mahomes.
no, that's American football. This is soccer or
Football.
Okay. Messi. Lionel Messi.
So Messi's come to play in the U.S., and what he has done for the sport just since he's been here, one, it looks like Michael Jordan playing against a bunch of high school kids is really what it looks like, because there's just no comparison. I mean, this dude is legendary. But what it's done economically for MLS, the stadium, I mean, because I went and I was like, oh man, I want to see Messi play. Like that'd be a lifelong goal right there to watch him play. He and Ronaldo, I'd like to see those two play.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and looked at tickets. Before he came, they were like $25, $30, $40 a ticket.
Uh-huh.
There's $725.
No way.
It's getting crazy to even get into a game to watch him
Did
play.
you just say $700?
They are up there.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know but that's what I've seen for tickets. I'm sure you can get them cheaper, but that's
right.
What I'm looking for, where I want to sit. That's what I've got to pay. And whereas before I could have paid like $40 and probably taken the whole family.
I'll tell you what. Give me $5, I'll let you watch me play soccer.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
I might take you up on that if you're playing against somebody who actually has some skill, because I'd pay to see you just get embarrassed like
Dude,
that.
I played soccer when I was younger. Did we have this discussion already?
You didn't play. Yeah, you did something.
I was on the team.
That's manager?
Huh? We were sponsored by the local hot dog.
Right. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
The hot dog store, Wiener King.
I need to just.
He's not even listening.
No, I'm not.
That hair dye got to his brain cells. Yeah.
I just got a suspicious text.
Okay.
It's from random numbers, and it's talking about a chili cook-off.
Okay.
But I have no idea who it came from.
Wasn't me.
Anyway.
Wasn't me. You'd lose.
What were y'all saying?
I had a funny joke, and it just went right over your head.
You missed it.
Your thick, hair dye coated, hairy head.
Yeah, but anyway, so he's coming to the league and just
he's
kind of
coming to America,
torn things up, and I really want to go watch him play. But it's crazy because you look at it and you've got team owners now like Will Ferrell is part owner of an MLS team. You got Ryan Reynolds and whoever the dude from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I forget his name.
Danny DeVito?
No.
One of the younger guys?
Yeah, one of the younger guys, not Charlie Day, but the other one. And all of a sudden now that Messi's playing here, you've got all these stars like Selena Gomez and that are trying to get these tickets just to go watch him play, because I mean it's like for soccer, this is the era of like what Michael Jordan was to basketball back in the 80s and 90s. This is what Messi is.
I think it's even bigger than that,
even though he's at the end of his career. Well, because soccer's bigger than basketball. Soccer's bigger than football.
Yeah.
It's the biggest sport in the world, and now that America's getting involved and starting to put money into our programs, we're starting to see them do better. Most of the time, the women this year didn't do really well in the World Cup, but it's crazy to see all these people coming out of the woodworks and all of a sudden starting to inject money into the game, and you're starting to see it transform and become more popular, and you're starting to see more clubs and people getting involved more in the game. It's still not anywhere, like what it is over in England or overseas or what I saw down in South America. It's not there yet, but I think it's on the way to get there.
I don't think it'll get there. And again, let me tell you why.
Why do you think it won't get there?
Because in the other countries that you're talking about, like I spent some time in Haiti. Like everybody there, like you could.
That's it. That's all there is.
But I mean, hey, is it Ronaldo or is it Messi? And they all would debate you on who their favorite and who they thought the best was. It was just, but not only does it carry, but your best players get an opportunity to play. In the U.S., it's the players that have money that get to play soccer. You can't have the best athlete off of Grove in Wichita get on a soccer club. It's not an option. They don't pick up a soccer ball. Like the best athletes that would be the best soccer players, the soccer's not even an option.
So you're saying it's other sports.
Yeah. And it is a total rich person sport in the U.S. and it is totally not that everywhere else in the world.
Well, so I would agree with you to a point. All you need is a ball to play, really. I mean, and that's how most of these superstars started out, was just with a ball. And they were poor. And so I'd agree with you that it is kind of a rich person sport here in the States, but there are clubs that have the scholarship opportunities where that's all taken care of, where those players don't have to do that.
But the entry, and you get what I'm saying, the entry is, how are you going to know, I don't know, crazy example, Barry Sanders, right? He's from Wichita. Went to not North High. There was another high school he went to here. They just put a statue up for him.
Yeah.
But Heights, I think. I don't know. But like, I'm wondering his abilities, his breakaway speed, his agility, what he would have been like if all he did was play soccer. Like what talent would he have had if he never touched a football?
Oh, for sure.
And that level of athlete in the U.S. is never going to go the soccer route. He's always going to go a different sport, whether that's basketball, whether it's football, whether it's baseball.
Well, but I'm saying the bigger that soccer gets, I think that may change.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will be that big for long. Messi's going to get old.
He's already old.
Yeah.
This is like his golden years. Like which is kind of funny that he's in his golden years and he's owning. I mean, it's like Michael Jordan at the, when he's like, oh, I've basically done all I can do. And I think this is, I'll go here. And, he worked it out with David Beckham to come here, and the two are marketing geniuses and made it happen. But yeah, so that's
I need some of that coffee we had last week. I'm getting tired. Woo!
The interweb says he went to North.
North. Oh, he did go to North. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the most highfalutinous neighborhood around.
No. Yeah. No, but I would agree. But that's what's been on my mind recently, is just the level of play. Because he took that team from not winning anything to basically they haven't lost. I mean,
he took that league from not being relevant to on the global stage.
Like every celebrity wants to be at the game. Yeah. It's just crazy that one man can have that kind of pull.
So you were basically wanting to do what all the celebrities were doing.
I would love to go watch him play.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know who Matt wants to run with now.
Yeah.
The celebrities.
Rich folk.
Hey, I'm putting it out there. Hey, if you're rich and you're a celebrity and you want to make a wish, this dude wants to go see Messi play.
Some wounded combat Marine arm candy. Hey, come on with it.
Let's go. All right. We'll be right back with our top 3 presidential candidates.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave. I don't know how you can be tired. That's jacked me up. I love it. That's good coffee.
And we're back. All right, top 3 presidential candidates. Chet, why don't you go first?
All right, I got a tie for third place.
Tie for third.
Vivek Ramaswamy. You know who I'm talking about? Troy, You don't know anything that's going on in the world today.
I got a list of them right here. Ramaswamy, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I like him as far as what he's saying. I really don't trust his background. I don't trust that he popped up on the scene like he has. There's something going on with that. But he's bringing a lot of good energy and clear communication to the debate, and he seems like a normal human being, which some of the other candidates do not seem like. I will talk about that in just a little bit. He's tied with Robert Kennedy Jr. So I like him as a candidate. Would I vote for him based on all the stuff that he believes? No. But I really appreciate that he's a genuine person, willing to debate willing to talk to people, go on shows, get his message out there. I think he also is an effective communicator, even though he has a throat issue. He's got some kind of disease that messes with his throat. Needs some surgery to recorrect it, but he's not doing that. That's why he always sounds like he's hoarse, is because he's got that thing going on. But aside from that, he really does have a good message. He stays on message, and he's not afraid of some tough questions, because the mainstream media are really consider him a threat to the Democratic norm leadership. So there's no support he's getting from the Democratic Party. They're not even going to allow him to primary against Joe, because they don't want to see him on the stage with Joe. He'd tear him up, because they don't want him to be president. And he's a Kennedy, so he's got some issues. In fact,
won't anybody tear Biden up on stage
hold
next
on,
time?
we're going to get to that in a second. In fact, for certain presidential candidates with credible threats against them, the Secret Service is obligated to provide protection to those presidential candidates, even before they're president, just to protect the integrity of an election, so somebody's not easily, assassinated. And so he has requested that protection. The Biden administration has shot that down, no pun intended. And then more recently, actually 2 weeks ago, they had a guy posing as a police officer with two guns, that was started to get into his detail as if he was a local police officer. They noticed it. His personal security noticed it, pulled him aside, and dude got arrested. So basically, could have been an assassination attempt right there. And after that, they're like, now we know we have credible threats, and the Biden administration still turned him down, which is nuts. So those are my tie for third place. Second place, Ron DeSantis. I think, from what our country needs, he is the better of the candidates that are running. He's not perfect. He's hired some bad people on his campaign. He's a little cardboard cutout too much, in my opinion. But he's got some good policies, and I think
He's very cookie cutter.
Ran Florida pretty well. Is that a funny
Cardboard cutout? I thought that was good.
Yeah, watch him. He's like, doesn't know. He's very socially awkward. But one of the things I do like is he served in the Navy, and I really do appreciate people in politics that have served in the military. I don't think it's a requirement, and I don't have a standard that says I'm not going to support anybody that hasn't, but I do appreciate it when it comes along. Number one, Joe Biden. Top 3 presidential candidate. I'm so happy that he's the one that they're putting up for anybody to run against, because you will truly see how crazy people are with our country, that they are willing to vote for a letter behind somebody's name when that person is a cardboard cutout and does not have a coherent thought, can't walk himself off of a stage after a speech without help. And people are so committed to keeping the power where it is that they would actually publicly support that. And I think it is a sad state that we are in this country, but we deserve
Chet.
it. We deserve every bit of it.
Hold on. Come on, man.
Listen.
Come on, man.
Listen.
Come on.
Listen.
Man.
There are people who actually believe he is doing a good job.
No, they're
Chet,
lying. They're lying.
telling you right now.
They're lying.
No, I had somebody.
They're lying.
Like I had and I'm friends with this person.
Nope.
And they are defending everything that he does. Oh, it's misinterpreted. Now, he's got what is it? A mental, not a mental,
Brain fart.
well, I mean, that's basically but there's a medical term for it, right? So
yeah. Medically should not be president. That's the medical term. Retired.
Because he's not coherent.
A brain
Right.
fart that
Yeah.
won't pass.
Like, because he's had some issues with his brain, and had these issues, and
therefore he shouldn't be
he's
president.
cognitive, so he's got some cognitive disabilities. I was like, the sole purpose of the president is to be cognitive.
Yeah.
That's like his job.
You don't have to be able to walk. I'm okay with that, but you got to be able to think.
I could be president.
Yeah. Here you go. This. let me be clear. This is what I think about Joe Biden.
Now, even as we evolve our institutions and drive creative new partnerships, let me be clear. Certain principles of our
Somebody
international
laugh.
system are sacrosanct.
Yeah. That's as clear as that.
So if you go back and when he says, "Let me be clear,"
That's the clearest thing he said.
Well, but listen,
Somebody laugh.
you can hear somebody laugh.
No way.
Yeah. So he goes, "Let me be clear."
Yeah, play.
Now, even as we evolve our institutions and drive creative new partnerships, let me be clear. Certain principles of our international system.
I don't know if that's a cough or a laugh, but
I think it's a cough.
I like thinking it's a laugh.
That
That's
dude
good.
is out of it. And I love the fact, and our country deserves the fact that he becomes our president again. And all the bad things that come with it. Every bad thing that happens, but whether or not China invades Taiwan, who knows what they're going to cyber attack us or whatever, shut off our power grid. We deserve every bit of it. If this is what our political, and I've got other candidate that I could put in there too, but if this is what our politics has come to, the American people deserve what's coming. So that's why he's the best candidate that we have out there. It is a mirror. We ought to be looking at ourselves through that. That's my top 3.
All right, I'll go next. All right, number 3,
Barney.
Williamson.
Oh, you look somebody up.
You're dude.
I just think that it's time for a woman, guys.
Whatever.
I think it's time for a woman to run. I think we'll be better off.
What about her?
Isn't there an Avett Brothers song about
A woman
that?
has already run, Troy. That was Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, she was terrible.
Yeah, apparently she was a clone. Have you heard about the clones?
Yeah, and she had already murdered a bunch of people
They're
and got
cloning
caught
everybody.
for it. And
It's all part of that deception.
bad emails and stuff.
Speaking of Hillary Clinton, I made it. It's now a tradition.
You had a good poop today?
9/11. So a few weeks ago, I'm watching 13 Hours on 9/11 from here on out. That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Good movie. 13
Really good
Hours
movie.
in Benghazi.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, 9/11. It's the anniversary. Go ahead.
Perry Johnson. He's going to cut 2 cents off of every dollar of discretionary spending. I like it.
What party is this guy in?
I don't know. It says businessman.
Did he already drop out?
That's what he does.
Is he
I
red
know.
or blue on that chart?
He's red. I just
Okay,
like
he's a
his
Republican.
picture. He kind of looks like a hopped up Martin Short.
Okay.
So you
He may have
are.
been the one that already dropped out.
Troy is 100% the average voter.
Third, I'm going to go
I like his
number
picture.
1. I'm going Cornell West, baby, for the win. Can I bet on this in Vegas? I'm going to do it.
Cornell West cracks me up.
70.
funny.
He'll be 72 years old on inauguration
A
day.
youngin'.
A very youngin' from Biden,
And Trump.
and he's got his head. He's got his wits about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taught at Yale, Princeton, Harvard. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
All right.
He's got my vote.
Troy coming in with Google right there at the end of recording. All right.
That is.
I'll tell you what. I'll get some Cornell West bumper stickers and put them on your truck.
Yeah, let's
Your
do
car.
it.
Yeah.
Let's do it right by my hard-headed sticker.
Yeah. You got it.
You are absolutely 100% what's wrong with this country.
Did I tell you guys the bumper sticker story?
I'm going to get frosted tips next time.
It was.
You already do. It's grown out since the last time I see you. You got frosted roots.
We went to some. I can't remember. We went. There's 4 couples. We went out. We stopped by the Monarch, and this is a long time ago. Some presidential election.
Why didn't you go to Los Cocos?
But there were 4 couples, and it was a long time ago. And we walked in, and the place is slammed. People standing up. They have like the big game TV out, and I'm like, there's no game on right now. Like, what are they? It was the Democratic Party of Wichita's watch party for the Democratic primary debate going on.
Wow.
And people were looking at us like, you guys don't belong here. Because I guess we're manly men looking. I don't know.
You didn't have color in your hair?
But anyway, no, I didn't have a bun, which is next over here. Man bun.
No, my hair's too thin.
Well, wasn't wearing plaid and a vest. I don't know. But anyway, so it was a Saturday night. And Sunday morning, next morning, I'm walking out of the church to get in my vehicle. And my vehicle's parked away from me. And I had it may have been an Obama. It was probably worse than Obama. I think it was a Bernie Sanders bumper sticker on my
Bernie.
truck.
Let's
And
go.
I'm like, what in the world? Well, one of my friends, while we were in there, grabbed one and put it on my truck while I wasn't paying attention. I've been driving around with a Bernie Sanders
I
bumper
could see that.
That's fantastic.
That's
Matt,
pretty
what are
funny.
yours?
Number 3, Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. I think he's even though he's on the Democratic ticket, he, like you said, he is a good communicator. He's very clear. He's not a diehard anti-Second Amendment guy. And I think he would be a good pick. If we had to go that way, because I don't think that he's your far left. I think he's more middle left. And if we're going to go either way, I think we should go,
If we're going to leave it up to somebody toying with the votes, it might as well be 2 people up there that we wouldn't mind.
right. Yeah. I mean, I would go middle left or middle right.
Yeah.
I don't want extremes on either side. Let's get somebody in there that can bring everybody together and actually do some work and communicate between the 2 parties and get some stuff done instead of being so confrontational all the time. Let's get a candidate that brings everybody together, which I still haven't seen with our Republican primary candidates. I haven't seen anybody that's brought everybody together, because everybody's just attacking everybody, which I said from the beginning. When you go into this, everybody support everybody. Say, I like that guy. They're doing this, but here's what I'm doing differently.
Yeah.
And then, hey, I like what she says, and I agree with that. Here's what I would change on my end. But stop the name calling, stop the crap throwing, unite as a party, and then attack this election as a united front, and then we've got it won. No, beyond a shadow of a doubt, because we're the party that's united.
Right.
And that's what people want right now, is unity. And the party that unites is going to be the party that wins.
And that's not happening.
And that's not happening with
side.
either side. So it's going to be the party that does that. It's be the party that wins. And you can mark that. You can take that to Vegas, Troy.
Cornel West, baby.
Number 2, Ramaswamy.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned DeSantis being kind of a cardboard cutout, even though he's not an establishment guy, he talks like he's a cardboard cutout. He's very robotic in his, and very careful about what he says, which I guess is, it's kind of a good thing, but it also shows that everything is planned into a script.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go off script. And when you don't want to go off script, that means you're not really 100% comfortable with what you're going to say. And so it's not 100% what you mean.
And one of the things I fear about him, there's been a couple of things that have gone online viral, in my circles anyway, viral, and like interaction with people in the crowd. And I'm not too sure that stuff isn't planned.
100% is planned.
That wasn't a spur of the moment, transitioning person that felt like I'm like, man, this is a little too convenient.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still he's a little bit robotic. Like they gave, who was that back in the day? Mitt Romney. They gave him a hard time about being wooden, basically, just there was no personality to it. And I kind of see that with him. It's almost like a manufactured personality. Like, I don't think he really has one for the public. He might be a cool guy, to talk to just like this, but, and then number 1, Nikki Haley. I'd like to, I think if we're going to go the woman route, I really like the way she handled some stuff back in overseas, and the way she handled some of that stuff. She's a woman, so if we're just going to vote based on a gender,
there you go.
Vote for her. But she's also I think she's a really good communicator. I haven't seen, to be honest, I haven't seen her debates. This is all based on what I saw 3, 4, 5 years ago with her.
Yeah.
And I can't even, I'm drawing a blank on the position that she was in.
She was an ambassador to the UN.
Was it UN? Mm-hmm. I knew she was an ambassador, but I don't know.
Yeah, pretty sure.
United Nations ambassador under Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Hey, who was faster, Troy on Google or Chet GPT?
Chet GPT was faster
She's
on that one.
presented herself as a member of a new generation of leadership.
I don't
know about that, but there's nobody new up there that has new thoughts, I don't think.
Yeah.
Everybody's still riding Trump's coattails, and I think that's what's going to get Ramaswamy in trouble too. Is
Nikki and Ramaswamy would both get crammed up his backside if he stopped real fast. They're
Yeah.
both chasing him pretty hard.
100%. And I think that anybody following that line, don't even bother. I
So
mean,
is there a reason you guys didn't mention Trump?
well, so for me, personally, I believe that, I like what Trump did while he was president. We had one of the greatest economies that we've ever had. But the division, I don't know that it's worth it. And I think if we can find, because it's going to be even worse if he gets reelected, because people are just going to go off the rails.
Yeah, so that may be worth it if he was a man of value. And he already came out last week and was like, yeah, I'm not going to be as strong as I was on abortion because the country they want to have abortion. So I'm going to be for abortion, which he was before he ran for president. And he just came out and he followed through with, nominating Supreme Court justices.
He did what he said he was going to do.
And he is now saying he's not going to be that anymore. I'm going to go pro-abortion and allow some limits, but we're not going to ban this thing. Let's open it back up.
So he turned into a politician.
That's what he was all the time, right? It's just that what he needed to do to win then was align with typically our views. And what he needs to do to win now, and he will do it, is to not align with our views. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he came out and was like, "Yeah, we need to do something about assault weapons too." I think.
Well, and he already did because he passed the brace, and all that kind of stuff, and the whatever bump stocks and all that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't think that the division that he would bring is worth.
And he's old. He's so old.
And he is old, and he's not well spoken.
Yeah, he'll be 78.
And
he's just a lot of baggage.
I honestly believe that Kennedy would be a better pick.
Here's the deal: if Kennedy and Trump were both running, there's a chance that both of them would get assassinated because there's something about the Kennedys.
I was going to say that earlier. I mean, that you got that last name, you're bringing it into that, and you were saying somebody looked like somebody was already trying to kill him.
Well, and
he hadn't even hit the primaries.
Dude, I'm telling you, and it's the government. It's like the
well, the government killed.
I don't have any proof of any of that, but
it hasn't been unsealed yet.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but guess who didn't unseal it? Trump.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll give them the aliens, but we won't unseal Kennedy's assassination.
Yep. All right.
Man, that's a good top three. I think my guy's going to win, though.
He may not even make it.
He may not even be able to put Cornell West.
He may be out next week.
All right, Chet, you got a good word for us?
Much like the best sport called football in the world, which is American football, I'm going to hand off the good word today to a individual from the New York Saints, a linebacker. And this happened last week at a press conference. He was at a press conference after a game and started talking about some health issues that his daughter was having, and asked for prayer and talked about the power of God and being able to move through this and through the prayers. And his name is Demarius Davis. He's a phenomenal person, and he came back today. So it kind of blew up among believers. Lots of sharing of that press conference. And he kind of said to himself, I got to quit doing that, right? I got to quit doing that. So a week ago, yesterday, so we're talking 8 days ago, he had another press conference after the Saints won, go Saints.
Heck yeah. 2-0, baby.
He intended to, after the game, to go answer football questions, and this is how the press conference started.
Well, I wasn't going to preach today. I wasn't going to do that. But if I didn't, then I would not be being obedient. I told the Lord before today, if I went back to the podium, that I would make sure that I praised him the proper way. The last time I was up here, God did an extraordinary work through me. It exceeded past myself. and into and around the country. And with that, I owe proper praises to God. It had nothing to do, very little to do with me and everything to do with him, so I have to be obedient. So first, I will update everybody on my daughter. She had a phenomenal week. She's doing great, a full bill of health. She's doing phenomenal. As I said before, that knock at the door was answered, and God came in and did a wonderful work in my family. The reality is, when you see a message go around that strong, it's a lot of people that are out there hurting, and it's a lot of people who are waiting on a knock. And I want to continue to reiterate, your knock may not come right away, but to be patient and to wait on the Lord, and he will do what he said he'll do. Another thing was, there was an overwhelming amount of support just from fellow believers and Christians around the country. I want to thank them for that. And I think the phrase that is used oftentimes is, man, that's awesome what you're doing with that platform that you have. But at the end of the day, that's what we are to be doing as Christians. That's what we are to be doing as believers, is sharing the gospel, preach the gospel. The word says, for I am unashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God to bring salvation to all who believe. It's the power of God. And that's what our world is needing. That's not just talking about salvation for the spirit. That's talking about salvation for the soul. People who are hurting, people who are going through present day situations who need healing and need God in their life. And only the power of God can save them. So what I want to encourage every Christian, not just Christians with a platform, preach the gospel, share the gospel. In our schools need God. Share the gospel. In our courtrooms need God. Share the gospel. In the hospitals, our hospitals need God. Share the gospel. Preach the gospel. It is the power of God that will bring salvation. And I can't be the only person that feels like our nation needs salvation. And I think that's why that message was so powerful and spread, is because people are looking for salvation. So share the gospel. So unfortunately, we'll be doing this again. I'll be sharing about football later in the week. Thank y'all for y'all time. Blessings.
I think that is just awesome. So the good word would be gospel. And what are we supposed to be doing with it?
Share it.
And I think it's extremely powerful. I know we all love people that have quote unquote platforms. I guess we have one with a podcast, right? That you think that if you don't have a platform, you're not getting through. But all it takes is one person. You have a platform if there's one other person in your life. So wherever you are, wherever you work, wherever you go to school, and you're a believer, you have a platform to share the gospel with someone. And you ought to take advantage of that. So that's my good word of the day, to encourage you to do that. And it's very encouraging to see people do this. And I'll just tell you from a powerful perspective, this is the primary camera and audio. And this was shared from the Saints Twitter handle. This is the official New Orleans Saints account shared that clip, and I just played it in its entirety. So
that's pretty cool.
That's just awesome. Yeah. That number one, they knew he was going to do this because he did it last week, and he's up there doing it again. And not only are they, the reason they're sharing it, I don't know if the social media person's a believer or not, but they're going to get views, and their job is to get views. If you're a social media person for a company, you got to go get views. Yep. That's getting shared like crazy because it matters. It's meaningful. It means something to people that are sharing it. And I love the fact that the dude is pointing people to Jesus, and he's being vulnerable, talking about his family, talking about he needs prayers. His daughter needs prayers. And then he's also obedient when he comes back and says, you know what? My prayers were answered. And this is the guy. It's God that did it. And everybody has an opportunity that Jesus is standing at your door knocking. That's the knock that he's talking about. He's referencing a passage in Revelation. I stand at the door and knock. So anyway, that's a good word, gospel, and go share it.
Love it, man.
I think it's also a sign of where we're at in society. when that gets shared as much as it does, that's what people are searching for. That's what people want. That's what people need. And so as we approach this 2024 presidential election, remember that when you vote for that candidate.
There's not a candidate on that list that's going to save your soul.
Not one.
Nope. All right. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.